The system tells Ningtian, host can now immediately absorb the Divine Thunder Tao's comprehension. But the host has to withstand the pressure of the 9th step during the comprehension process. Do you wish to absorb? And Ningtian tells the system to absorb Divine Thunder Tao. And the system says it's detected that the host is absorbing the Divine Thunder Tao's comprehension. Tenfold comprehension. Host, please hold on. And then there's a lot of thundering at that place and a lot of energy starts coming out, seeing which everyone gets very shocked, and they are saying, a thunder wind transformation? Isn't this the legendary phenomenon that only occurs when one reaches the 9th step? How could this happen at the 1st step? And Yueling also gets shocked, and she is saying, Master Nanyan, what's happening? And the old lady says, I don't know either, this has never happened before. And we see that there is a lot of thundering around Ningtian, and Ningtian is thinking, fortunately, I have already been blessed by the thunder, and have thunder spiritual veins. Otherwise, I might not have been able to withstand this. And a dragon aura starts coming out from Ningtian, and everyone is shocked to see this, and they are saying, these descending strongest men, the celestial realm will probably perish. He didn't die, he must have an amazing defense. And Holy Sun is saying, Patriarch, please don't get in trouble. And Ningtian now starts moving forward, and the system is saying to Ningtian, you shock the cultivators of Shenzhou City. Reward Thunderproof Pill, resists partial effect of thunder after consumption. Reward Miraculous Healing Pill, quickly recovery from injury after consumption. And Ningtian says to the system, use the Thunderproof Pill and the Miraculous Healing Pill. And as Ningtian is moving forward, a dragon aura is coming out from inside him. Then now he starts moving forward very fast, and the system says to Ningtian, Divine Thunder Tao comprehended, current comprehension level is at beginner level. And Ningtian is thinking, the 8th step, which was as difficult as ascending to the heavens, is now so easy. Then, the 9th step. And the crowd is saying, the 8th step. He stepped on the 8th step. It's not over yet, look, he's trying to go up. What? On the 9th? That's impossible. Who is he? And the system is saying to Ningtian, you shocked everyone, reward Thunder Wind Tao comprehension point +1. Currently, host has made minor progress in the Thunder Wind Tao, and Ningtian is thinking, there are many people here, and since I have already obtained the comprehension of the Thunder Wind Tao, I don't need to step onto the 9th step, which will help me avoid needing to explain myself later. And Ningtian has completed all the steps, seeing which one man says, see, his cultivation doesn't seem to be enough for him to reach the 9th step. And the other man says, but he stepped on the 8th step already. Besides being a bit weird, the next 7 steps are easy for him. Damn it! And Holy Sun is getting very happy, and he is saying, he has reached the 8th step, doesn't that mean he gets to have dinner with Princess Yueling? And on hearing this, the people sitting next to him get very angry, and they are saying, I won't allow this. I won't allow the princess to dine with an ugly man. It's like a bunch of flowers poked into a pile of manure. Angry. I'm so angry. Then Ningtian asks Holy Sun to leave from here, but Holy Sun is saying, Pa Master Ning, are you going to leave like that? You're not going to dine with the princess? And Ningtian is saying, she's not as pretty as my wife, why should I dine with her? And Holy Sun says, the EMPO wife is very pretty indeed. And on hearing this the crowd gets even more angry. And they are saying, ridiculous, he actually said that one of the 3 beauties of Shenzhou is not as good as his wife? Wild boars can eat fine bran, how pretty can his wife be? Ridiculous. Could it be that his wife is the most recognized beauty of the heavenly spiritual domain, the heavenly demonic sex Empress? Then Yueling says to Ningtian, fellow Taoist, please go to the small residence to dine with me. But Ningtian tells Yueling that I am busy right now. So Yueling says, when is this fellow Taoist free? And Ningtian says, it depends. Then he starts leaving from here, and Yueling is thinking, how many holy sons and princes have been flocking to me. It's interesting to see such an average-looking man reject me. And then an old man comes there, Supreme Divine Kingdom 3rd Highness. And the old man says, Yueling, Did someone just step onto the 9th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace? Don't worry, we're just talking among one another, no one else can hear. And Yueling says to that old man, no one reached the top out, one person reached the 8th. And the old man is thinking, I clearly felt a strong reaction from the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace just now. And the old man says, the 8th step is nothing special. And Yueling says, Master Nanyan, please help me find that friend of the Tianbao Holy Sun. Then the scene shifts and Holy Sun is saying to Ningtian, Patriarch, why did you reject Princess Yueling? So Ningtian says, are you dumb? After reaching the top of the 8th step, would a princess be willing to have dinner with you? How can it be that easy? And Holy Sun says, are you saying the princess has ulterior motives? Regardless of if she does or not, I didn't even think of that. As expected of the Patriarch, you thought of that too. I'm really. And Ningtian says to Holy Sun, stop flattering me and find an inn for us to stay in. And Holy Sun says, don't worry, Patriarch. I have already found an inn for us and tied the horses outside. And as soon as he looks in front, he finds that his horses are not there at the place where he had tied them. And seeing this, Holy Sun starts crying a lot, and he is saying, a bastard stole my horses, I will find you. But Ningtian is taking Holy Sun inside and saying, stop howling, we have to go and prepare for the auction. At night Ningtian is doing cultivation in his room and he is saying, yes, thanks to this Thunder Wind Dao, this trip is already fruitful. It would be even better if the 2 ingredients I want are at tomorrow's auction. Then the scene shifts to Tianbao Pavilion. And a man is saying, even though there are many auctions happening in Xinzhou City, when it comes to rare treasures, none can compare to the Tianbao auction. And we see Ningtian Holy Sun, who is walking ahead, and another man is saying, look at the first row, almost all of the top forces of the heavenly spiritual domain are there. And Holy Sun is saying, there are also private rooms on the 2nd floor, open only to some special individuals. Patriarch, if you're to ask me, considering your status, you would differently be sitting on the 1st row. But Ningtian says, my goal is to look at the rare treasures here. I don't care where I sit. And on hearing this, Holy Sun's eyes start shining, and he says, as expected of the Patriarch, a great man who lives so humbly is to be admired. And Ningtian is thinking, what if they learn of me and I get hunted down? Then they go and sit on their seats, and Ningtian is saying, I didn't expect to see so many forces in Shenzhou City. And Holy Sun is saying, right, but to my knowledge, the only ones who possess great immortals are the Xiaoyao Holy Land, the Supreme Divine Kingdom, and the Sword Immortal Sect. But there must be some hidden individuals. And then someone says, Princess Yueling is entering. And as soon as Yueling enters, a man says, who would have thought that the person who represents the Supreme Divine Kingdom this time would be Princess Yueling? And looking at Yueling, Ningtian thinks, the world is small indeed, we have met again. And Yueling says, don't be in a rush, let's see how things go. And then a beautiful girl comes to his place, and she is saying, sorry for the long wait. But seeing that girl, everyone becomes very happy, and they are saying, we didn't wait long. There's no need to apologize. Sister Tian Mei is hosting the auction, so we can wait a little longer. Sister Tian Mei, you're getting prettier day by day. We can wait as long as it takes for our sister. And Holy Sun is saying, she's the best auctioneer of the Tianbao Pavilion, Tian Mei. We all call her Sister Tian Mei. But Ningtian is thinking, even though the auctioneer is a strong cultivator of the celestial realm, the Tianbao Pavilion's might cannot be underestimated. And that girl says, now that everyone's gathered, I declare the 328th Tianbao Pavilion auctions, beginning. Please, look at the first auction item. And then Ningtian notices something and he gets surprised. Then a girl comes with a book and the announcer says, Intermediate Earth Rank Martial Arts Skill, Thunder Wind Divine Palm. Starting price is 1 million spirit coins. Each following bet must be at least 50,000 spirit coins above the last. And as soon as they see that book, they get very shocked and they start bidding for that thing. And one man bids 1 million and another man bids 1.05 million, then the third man bids 1.1 million. And Ningtian is thinking, it's actually a martial arts skill related to the Thunder Wind Dao. But 1,000,000 spirit coins is. Before I left, my wife gave me this storage ring and said it has some spirit coins, but I don't know how much. And then Ningtian reaches another space, seeing which he is surprised, and a very bright light starts shining in front of him. And Ningtian is surprised to see this light, and Ningtian is saying, "Why is it so bright? Heavens, my wife is so rich! System, help me count how many spirit coins are in here." And the system tells Ningtian, counting, spirit coins are approximately 1 billion in value. Total number of weapons and skills are approximately several hundred. And Ningtian, seeing so many spirit coins, is saying, "Thank you, my dear wife. I will be able to enjoy having such wealth today." And some people are bidding even more for that book in the same way, and looking at those people, Holy Sun is saying, "Wow, the competition is so fierce this time." And we see another man, Scar Sect Leader, and he says the Scar Sect Leader is offering 1,600,000. Is there anyone who wants to match this price? And Holy Sun says, although the Thunder Wind Palm is an intermediate Earth rank martial arts skill, the requirements to practice it are very strict. One must master the power of thunder and wind, otherwise they can't use its full power. 1,600,000 is the limit. What are you thinking about? Are you shocked by the price? Don't worry, if there is something the Patriarch wants but doesn't have the money for, I, Zhu Yuanbao, will make sure to aid you. So Ningtian says, 1.65 million spirit coins. And Holy Sun gets very shocked on hearing this, and he says, 1.8 million. But Ningtian increases the bid even more and says 1.85 million. Then the man bids 2 million, so Ningtian bids 2.5 million. And now the man gets very angry, because now he does not have that much money, and he says, "Whatever, this Thunder Wind Palm is yours." Then the beautiful announcer says, "If you don't have a bigger bet, then this gentleman wins." Ladies and gentlemen, the first half of the auction has come to an end. We will start the second half in half an hour. And Holy Sun says to Ningtian, "Patriarch, are you really that rich?" And Ningtian says, "This Tianbao auction is really something." And Holy Sun says, "Don't worry, this is just the first half, it's to create the mood. The better things are saved for the second." And Ningtian says, "I see. It would be even better if the 2 herbs I need are there." And then Yueling comes to his place and everyone is very surprised to see Yueling. And Yueling is saying to Ningtian, "My fellow Taoist, are you free tonight? What about dinner together?" And everyone is very shocked to hear this. And Ningtian is also shocked. But he tells Yueling that I am very busy. And on hearing this, Yueling is even more shocked because, rejecting the princess again. And then, when is young Master Ning Shui free? And Yueling thinks he performed so well on the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace, and under the money palm. This person will definitely help me get to that place. I have to win him over. And Ningtian gives a wonderful reply to Yueling, "When you're not free, I will be free." And as soon as Yueling hears Ningtian's answer, she starts burning inside and gets very angry. And when the crowd hears Ningtian's words, they get very angry. And also get very shocked. And one man says, "Who on earth is that guy to ignore the princess?" And the other man says, "Wait, isn't that the guy who stepped on the 8th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace?" And a man says, "Seriously, heavens, he rejected the princess twice." But Ningtian ignores their words, his full attention is on the reward given by the system. And the system says to Ningtian, "You shocked everyone in the Tianbao Pavilion. Reward, duplicate momentum card. Duplicate momentum card. While hiding your own aura, you can copy the aura of the first person who senses you." And Ningtian thinks, duplicate momentum card? Quite interesting. If I use it right, it might have an unexpected effect. And when Yueling sees Ningtian smiling, she gets even more angry. But she calms herself down, and while leaving she says to Ningtian, "Young Master Ning is good with jokes. I will not bother you again." But while leaving, Yueling thinks, "Ning Shui? Just wait for me. I don't believe I can handle you." And Holy Sun is completely different, and he says, "What a waste. What a waste. Some people can't even drink tea with her, but others dare to refuse to have dinner with her twice." And Ningtian says to Holy Sun, "I won't even bother myself with you. And then a servant comes to Ning Tian, and he says to Ning Tian, "Lord, my master has invited you." And when Ning Tian sees the Holy Sun is serious. And seeing Holy Sun seriously, Ning Tian gets a little surprised. Then the servant brings Ning Tian inside a private room, and then someone catches Holy Sun's ear and says to him, "You sneaked out, does your master know about that?" And Holy Sun is in pain, and we see that it is the announcer, and she says to Holy Sun, "You feel pain, huh? I see you're getting bolder and bolder." And Holy Sun says to the announcer, "Sister Tian Mei, I'm coming down the mountain to gain experience and improve my cultivation. Master will understand." And the announcer says, "I see that you're out here just to have some fun." Then the announcer looks at Ning Tian and says, "You also brought your little brother with you. Wonder who that is." Then Holy Sun introduces the announcer to Ning Tian and says, "This is a friend I made on the road, Ning Shuai. He wanted to see our Tianbao auction, so we came together." Then the announcer starts leaving and she says, "In this case, this place is for you to use. This is the number 1 room. But still, don't overdo it." Then Holy Sun is saying, what does her last sentence mean? Is there anything special about this private room on the 2nd floor? I don't know either. Although this is the best private room on the 2nd floor, it's pretty peaceful. In previous auctions, the highest realm that has come was only at the celestial realm. Then the announcer announces, "Ladies and gentlemen, in the second half, we will have several distinguished guests." Distinguished guests? And then Ning Tian and Holy Sun feel a dangerous pressure, and they both get very shocked, and due to the pressure everywhere, everyone kneels down. And a man says, "There's actually a great emperor coming to this auction?" And the announcer laughs and says, "Hee, don't be nervous, the great emperors have also come to auction treasures. They won't interfere with us. If you have any treasures you like, you can bid as much as you like." And Holy Sun is surprised and he says, "It's over, now that the rooms next to us are all filled with great emperors. Patriarch, what should we do?" So Ning Tian normally tells Holy Sun, who said there is no great emperor in our room too? But Holy Sun gets confused. And Ning Tian thinks, the 4 great emperors appeared at the same time, so the next auction item must be outstanding. If you want to compete with them, you will face some threats. And this room can help me hide my identity by using the duplicate momentum card. Then a servant brings a treasure, and the announcer says, "The first item of the second half is the magical medicine that takes 900 years to mature. The 9 phoenix ice grass, 20 million spirit coins, each bid must be no less than 500,000 above the previous bid. And then an emperor bids 30 million for that grass." And Holy Sun says, "The great emperor of the 4th room has taken action. 30 million is what this great emperor says, who would dare rebel?" But then Ning Tian bids and says, 100 million spirit coins. "Excuse me, but I want this 9 phoenix ice grass." And as soon as Holy Sun hears that Ning Tian has bid 100 million, he gets very shocked. And the announcer thinks, the Tianbao saint? No, it's his friend. And a man in shock says, "What a big number." He raised the bid from 30 to 100 million in one go. And Ning Tian thinks, the card can only copy the first person who has sensed my presence. I must actively let them sense me so I can copy their aura and shock them. And then the system gives Ning Tian a new reward and says, "You shocked everyone, reward, telepathic communication card." And Ning Tian thinks, good, with this card, I won't be exposed easily. Then we see the scene of the 4th room and a man says to his master, "Master, the Tianbao pavilion prohibits inquiring about the guest's information, so we can't tell who the other party is." And the master says, "But I want to see, who dares to take my item from me?" And then the master starts releasing his power, and he directly enters Ning Tian's room, which Holy Sun is surprised to feel. But Ning Tian uses his card at that time and Ning Tian says to the system, use the duplicate momentum card. And the system says, duplicate momentum card is being activated. Successful. Xiaoyao Saint's Great Emperor aura has been detected and is being duplicated. Successful. The Great Emperor aura can be used for 1 hour. Ning Tian starts using the Great Emperor's aura, and when Master feels this aura, he gets shocked and thinks, is he actually a Great Emperor? I originally planned to take this 9 phoenix ice grass from my collection, but if we become an enemy with such a person, it would be a loss for us. Then Master says to Ning Tian, since you want it, you can take it. And Ning Tian says, I got the 9 phoenix ice grass. Then someone bids 500 million, and hearing this Holy Son says, it's just a magical medicine, but it's worth 500 million? And then Ning Tian hears that voice and understands whose voice it is. Then Ning Tian says to the system, use the telepathic communication card, and the system says, a telepathic communication card is being activated. Successful. And Ning Tian is looking at the Queen Mother of the West and says, Queen Mother of the West, please give me some face. Or next time, I summon you when you're taking a bath. Queen Mother of the West takes action to snatch the auction item? And Queen Mother of the West says, is what the Patriarch is saying true? Then I will wait for the Patriarch to call me, or can you tell me the time? I can just change into the icy sexy silk underwear that I have treasured for a long time. And after listening to Queen Mother of the West, Ning Tian thinks, this Queen Mother of the West is really. And Ning Tian's eyes are filled with anger, and he says, just wait for me. But Queen Mother of the West laughs and says, never mind, I'm afraid Luo Wuqing will come to Yaoqi with a sword to kill me. I'll give you the 9 phoenix ice grass. And Holy Son asks Ning Tian, Patriarch, what's wrong? So Ning Tian says, it's fine, the herb is mine. But Ning Tian thinks, I'm sorry, my dear wife, I just wasted hundreds of millions. And Holy Son says to Ning Tian, Patriarch, I didn't think you'd be so rich. And Ning Tian thinks, right now, the Thunder Heart fruit hasn't shown up yet. If the bidding goes on like this, even if I have 1 billion spirit coins, it might not be enough. And then the temperature of the room starts going minus, seeing which Holy Son gets surprised and he says, so cold, how did the temperature drop so suddenly? Patriarch, do you feel it? And then Ning Tian notices something and he looks back. And many servants are carrying a coffin on their shoulders. And seeing that coffin, everyone gets surprised and says, such a misfortunate thing is being auctioned as well? The chill makes the whole body shiver, up to the bone. This coffin is a wicked thing. Then the announcer tells the people, it took 1,000 feet of digging to bring it to light from the Tianbao Holy Land's dark forest. Ladies and gentlemen, the auction item in front of you is called the Shameful Een Spirit Coffin. Although we don't know what level it is, we speculate that it's most likely a relic from an ancient path to God's ascension. Now, the bidding begins. The starting price is 100 million spirit coins. And then Master bids 200 million. And hearing this, Holy Son says, the ancient path to God's ascension, that's something countless cultivators would want the most after cultivating for their whole lives. Those powerful emperors on the second floor would have this item, right? And Ning Tian thinks it looks like the Tianbao Holy Land cannot understand the true power of the coffin. For them, rather than it being coveted by others, it's better to auction it and make tons of money. If I'm able to take this to my wife, maybe it could help her improve her cultivation. Then Ning Tian bids 300 million. And hearing this, the announcer thinks, is this the Tianbao Holy Son's friend? And Queen Mother of the West thinks he's joining in the fun, he's really not afraid of dying. And Holy Son is very shocked and he says, Patriarch, do you need to be so high profile today? You just stole a herb from the Holy Lord of Xiaoyao, now you want to compete again? And Ning Tian says, why would I be afraid? He doesn't know who I am anyway. And Queen Mother of the West says, Patriarch, I know why you do this. But to break through the God realm, only a true will to godhood works. So Ning Tian asks, what do you mean? And Queen Mother of the West says, I need it, but I don't want to break through to the God realm. Although I don't know where you got your Emperor aura from, I hope you won't involve yourself in unnecessary disputes. And Ning Tian thinks, the Queen Mother of the West has helped me several times, and this doesn't sound like a lie. Then Ning Tian says, okay, I will listen to you, Queen Mother of the West. And Queen Mother of the West laughs and says, you're so obedient, next time you come to Mu Yaoqi, I will definitely give you a reward. And Saintess asks Queen Mother of the West, the Patriarch promised not to fight for it, so should we take it? And Queen Mother of the West says, yes. No matter how much money it costs, I, Yaoqi, must take this coffin. I just hope this wicked coffin can solve the troubles of our Yaoqi Holy Land. After this the auction is over, and Ning Tian closes the door of the room. And Ning Tian has a Thunder Wind Divine book and an ice grass. And Ning Tian is thinking after seeing these two items, this time the harvest was good. Apart from proper skills, the only thing left to improve my physique is the Thunder Heart fruit. And Ning Tian thinks, but I have no clue anything about this Thunder Heart fruit, that's troublesome. Whatever, I will take my time looking for it. Let's practice the Thunder Wind Divine Palm first. And the system tells Ning Tian, detected host absorption of the Thunder Wind Divine Palm. Intermediate Earth rank martial arts skill Thunder Wind Divine Palm was mastered. And then someone knocks on Ning Tian's room door. And Ning Tian gets a little surprised and asks, "Who is it? Why are you here?" And we see that Queen Mother of the West and Saintess have arrived here, and Queen Mother of the West says to Ning Tian, "Take off your mark before talking to us, it's so ugly." And Saintess says, "Right, it's very unpleasant." Ning Tian starts getting nervous. It seems that Ning Tian's secret has been revealed. Then Ning Tian removes his mask and shows his handsome face to Queen Mother of the West, seeing which the Queen Mother of the West starts smiling and says, "This face is still pleasing." And Saintess says, "Patriarch, long time no see." And Ning Tian says, "Queen Mother of the West, what are you doing here?" And then Queen Mother of the West comes very close to Ning Tian and hugs him and says to him, "Of course, while Luo Wuching is away, I'm forcing the Patriarch to do things he normally cannot do." And Saintess opens her eyes wide and Queen Mother of the West is very close to Ning Tian and says, "Haha, I was just teasing you. I didn't expect you to be so naive." And Ning Tian says, "Queen Mother of the West, just wait. When I become stronger than you, I will spank you on the butt." And Queen Mother of the West says, "You can try now, do you dare?" Then a smile comes on Ning Tian's face, and he says, "Can I? Can I?" Then he quickly gets close to Queen Mother of the West and bends her over. Then he starts spanking her butt and says, "Since you started it, how could I coward away? Don't behave and get spanked." Ning Tian was hitting Mother of the West's butt again and again. And Mother of the West gets very shocked. Then she says to Ning Tian, "Why you actually dare to do this?" And the system says to Ning Tian, "You shocked the Queen Mother of the West. You shocked the Yaoqi Saint. Reward, Aura Cultivation plus 300. And Ning Tian says to Mother of the West, "I'm a man. After all, how could I not satisfy the Queen Mother of the West's request? It doesn't feel bad, quite refreshing." But there is a smile on Mother of the West's face, and she says to Ning Tian smilingly, "Patriarch, you hit me." And Mother of the West sits on Ning Tian's lap and says to him, "But you have to be responsible for your actions, right? What about tonight?" And Ning Tian asks, "What responsibility? Should I let you hit me in return?" But Mother of the West says nothing to Ning Tian. Then Saintess says to Mother of the West, "Ahem, Holy Lord, should stop messing around, we need to get down to business." And Mother of the West stands up but she says to Ning Tian, "What a boring man." And Ning Tian asks Mother of the West, "Tell me, why did you come to see me?" And Saintess says, "Patriarch, we come to you for one thing." And Mother of the West tells, "The roots of the 9 Phoenix Ice Grass." And Ning Tian gets a little surprised and he thinks, "What I need is the leaves of the 9 Phoenix Ice Grass, so I can give them the roots." Then Ning Tian takes out the Phoenix Ice Grass and says to Mother of the West, "Sure, you can have it." And Ning Tian cuts the Phoenix Ice Grass into 2 parts, and gives 1 part to Mother of the West. And Saintess says thank you to Ning Tian, and Ning Tian says to Mother of the West, "Queen Mother of the West, you made me give hundreds of millions of spirit coins for nothing during the auction. How are you going to compensate me for it?" And Mother of the West says, "How do you want to be compensated? Don't have any spirit coins, but there are 2 beauties, what about that?" Then Mother of the West puts her big boobs in front of Ning Tian, seeing which Ning Tian gets shocked, and Mother of the West was about to say something in Ning Tian's ear very lovingly, and she says, "Or, I can give you a breath of fresh air." But Ning Tian gets a little nervous and he asks, "What compensation is this?" And Mother of the West says, "There's no other way. I don't have any spirit coins, and you don't want special compensation. This is the only way." But Ning Tian says, "Whatever. I just need you to answer this question for me. Have you heard of the Thunder Heart fruit?" So Mother of the West says, I know a thing or two about it. And Ning Tian asks, where is it? So Mother of the West says, it's in the forbidden royal area of the Supreme Divine Kingdom. We can't enter there. And Ning Tian gets a little surprised and he says, Forbidden Royal Area? Is it that hard to enter Forbidden Royal Area? The Mirror Moon Pavilion, I got it. Isn't there a perfect candidate for this? Thank you, Queen Mother of the West. Then Mother of the West and Saintess start leaving from here and Saintess says to Ning Tian, see you, Patriarch. And Mother of the West says, I'm glad to be of help to the Patriarch. Then we'll take our leave first. We will be staying in Shenzhou City for the next few days. Come to us if there are any problems. After this both of them leave Ning Tian's room. And Ning Tian wears the mask again and he thinks, but how can I make Princess Yueling take me to the Forbidden Royal Area? Seduction? No, it would be hard with that face. But then someone comes outside Ning Tian's room and asks Ning Tian, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, are you there? And Ning Tian understands by hearing her voice that it is Yueling. Then Yueling enters Ning Tian's room and she says to Ning Tian, I want to speak with you, so please hear me out. And Ning Tian says, come in and let's talk. And Yueling gets a little surprised that Ning Tian is now ready to talk to her. And knowing this, a smile comes on her face and she thinks, I thought he would shut me off mercilessly, but he actually invited me in. It must be my sincerity and efforts that moved him. Then both of them sit at one place. And Ning Tian asks Yueling to tell, so Yueling tells Ning Tian, I came here this time because I hope that fellow Taoist Ning Shuai will come to the Forbidden Royal Area, the Mirror Moon Pavilion, with me for a chat. And as soon as Ning Tian hears about the Forbidden Royal Area, he gets surprised and he says, Princess Yueling is asking me again and again, it must be something important. It would be unkind to refuse, so I will come with you. But Ning Tian is happy from inside and he thinks, I'm simply happy to be helping out others, always kind and generous. And Ning Tian gets ready and Yueling looks at Ning Tian and thinks, actually, if you look at Ning Shuai more often and get used to him, you'll find him quite handsome. Then Yueling stands up and she says to Ning Tian, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, why don't you come to the Mirror Moon Pavilion with me now? So Ning Tian agrees to go. After this the scene shifts and we see a girl who is speaking to the horse, Horse, I really think you're cute. But my senior sister said a distinguished guest is coming, and you're the shadow gale horse I found with great difficulty. If you want to blame someone, blame the distinguished guest. And that girl attacks the horse and this is the same girl who had stolen Holy Sun's horse earlier. Then Ning Tian and Yueling start going out of the room, and Holy Sun sees them. And Holy Sun gets very shocked and he asks Ning Tian, you two, a man and a woman alone in the dead of night. Then Ning Tian laughs and says Princess Yueling had something to ask. But Holy Sun says you're up to no good. But Ning Tian puts his hand on Holy Sun's mouth and tells him, stop with the nonsense. Then Yueling says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, let's go. And as Ning Tian was about to go with Yueling, Holy Sun held Ning Tian's hand and told him, I want to come too. Let's go together. And Yueling says it's fine, the Holy Sun of Tianbao can also come along. After some time, all three reach their destination. And Holy Sun seeing this place says, what's that smell? It smells so nice. And Yueling says, my junior sister has prepared an excellent feast for you, please come in. And Yueling's junior sister welcomes Yueling and her guests and says, senior sister, have you brought the distinguished guests, Dado? And she has prepared a very nice dinner for them, but when she looks in front, she gets very surprised and thinks, wait, why are they here? And this is the same girl who stole Holy Sun's horse and killed it today. Then the girl makes a strange face, and Yueling asks her what is the matter. But she doesn't say anything. And Yueling introduces the Holy Sun and Ning Tian to her junior sister and says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, Holy Sun of Tianbao, this is my junior sister Yuqin. Yuqin, this is fellow Taoist Ning Shuai and the Holy Sun of Tianbao, the distinguished guests I talked about. And Yuqin says hello to both of them, and Ning Tian also says hello to her. But Holy Sun is smelling the dinner very nicely, and so he quickly pounces on the food and his mouth is watering and he says, wow, what kind of delicacy is this? It smells so nice. I have never seen food that smells so good. And Yueling says, "This is the full banquet my junior sister has specially prepared for you, with the rare Shadow Wind horse." And as the Holy Sun was about to eat, and when Yueling told him that this meat is of Shadow Wind horse, the chopsticks fell from his hands, and he got a very big shock. And seeing the Holy Sun's reaction, Yueling asks Ning Tian, "What's up with the Holy Sun of Tianbao?" So Ning Tian tells, he lost 2 Shadow Wind horses in the city a few days ago. And as soon as Yueling hears this, she gets surprised. And we see that Yuqin starts running very fast, and Yueling asks Yuqin, "What are you trying to do?" So Yuqin says that some emergency has come up, so I am leaving. But then Holy Sun comes in front of her and asks Yuqin, "Tell me, where did your Shadow Wind horse meat come from? I was wondering why my horses were lost right after arriving in Shenzhou City." "So, it's you, you horse thief!" And Yuqin says, "Why so angry about it? You tied them on the roadside. How could I know it's yours?" And they both start fighting like this. But then Holy Sun sees Yuqin's big boobs, due to which he starts blushing and becomes silent. And Yuqin is happy that he has become silent. But Yueling is getting very angry, and she says to Yuqin, "Yuqin, you went too far." And then Ning Tian comes between them and he says, "She doesn't seem to feel guilty, she stole our horse and should be punished. Princess Yueling, do you mind if I help educate your thief junior sister?" Then Ning Tian moves his hand forward and catches Yuqin and bends her. Then he stretches his hand and Ning Tian's nose starts bleeding slightly. But he hits on Yuqin's bum, which hurts Yuqin a lot, and Ning Tian's hit was very strong, and in one hit Yuqin reaches directly to Yueling. And Yuqin says to Yueling, "Wah, senior sister, I doubt I can't get married now." And Yueling says, "Well, you're the one who did something wrong first, go apologize to the Holy Sun of Tianbao. Otherwise I will put you in solitary confinement." Then Yuqin says to Holy Sun, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stolen your horse." Then Ning Tian says, "Princess Yueling, can you tell me what I can do for you now?" And Yueling says, "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, I want you to help me become an empress." And Ning Tian says, "An empress? A rebellion? What happened?" And Yueling says, No, that's not it. You two don't know, but what I want to fight for is the right to inherit the throne. My ambitions are not just to break through the great emperor realm in terms of cultivation, but also become the Supreme Divine Kingdom's Empress. I want to make the Supreme Divine Kingdom peaceful and prosperous." And Ning Tian says, "So, what do you need me to do?" Then Yueling says, "This is a forbidden area of the Supreme Divine Kingdom, called the Supreme Secret Realm." And Ning Tian remembers the place the Queen Mother of the West mentioned. And Yueling further tells Ning Tian, "It's created by the founder of the Supreme Divine Kingdom, specially used for the cultivation of the disciples of the kingdom. There's something I need urgently. But in order to get it, I must go through a thunderstorm. The power of that thunderstorm is as strong as the 8th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace. I tried for several years, but couldn't get through." And Ning Tian says, "No wonder you've been looking for someone who can step onto the 9th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace." And Yueling says, "In 2 days, the Supreme Secret Realm will open. I beg fellow Taoist Ning Shuai to accompany me. Whether I can get the inheritance rights or not depends on you." So Ning Tian says, "Okay, but princess, shouldn't you tell me about the reward?" And Yueling says, "Of course, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai can make any request he wants." And Ning Tian thinks, "I don't know whether the Thunder Heart fruit is an important fruit or just an ordinary fruit in the secret realm." And when Yueling sees Ning Tian, she starts seeing a handsome man in the ugly man. And Yueling starts losing her virginity. She turns her face away and starts blushing and says, "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, please don't think of something like that. It's impossible." And hearing this, both Ning Tian and Holy Sun turn pale. And Ning Tian says that in the end, what should I not ask for? And Holy Sun says she might have thought of obscure things. But Ning Tian says the reward is very simple. I want 1 Thunder Heart fruit. And then Ning Tian feels something and he gets shocked, and the system says to Ning Tian, "You shocked Princess Yueling. Reward aura cultivation -100. And Yueling says to Ning Tian, "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you're really asking for too much?